Can you smell that The Rock is a goddamn fake? Who would have known? A mindless, soulless, garbage celebrity who's known for just being a nothing person? What is it that he does? He lifts weights, injects steroids, lift weights, and is a walking advertisement. Wow, that's awesome. Hold on a second, real quick. Sorry, I just wanted to check. Wow. It's interesting. It's like along the lines of celebrity worship, because especially Americans, Westerners, they are very much conditioned to just worship and idolize these people. But it's like when you look at the stuff they're idolized for, what is it that they're idolized for? Oh, hey, I'm The Rock. Check this out. This is the first time I've had In-N-Out for the third time. Oh, hi, I'm The Rock. Go and watch my new garbage movie where I barely act and play the same character. Oh, hey, I'm The Rock. That's why it's like whenever anyone, because a lot of people are dumb and they just look at vanity metrics, right? I just pulled up his fucking Instagram. 397 million followers. I say it again. God fucking damn. He has a lot of money. He's super successful, and for what? He wrestled, did fake wrestling. He's really tall, attractive. He takes steroids and he looks like a superhuman. But in terms of what he does, he's just a commercial for other people to make money. He's a conduit for other people who use him to make money off of. I'm going to use this comparison, right? Him versus someone like David Goggins. I don't really necessarily have an opinion one way or another about David Goggins. I'm just using him as an example, right? So David Goggins, he's way more physically capable than this guy. He doesn't take steroids. In terms of what he does and contributes to the world, he gives people motivational, encouragement. He's technically more valuable of a person in terms of the world than someone like The Rock. Yet, when you look up David Goggins, he probably doesn't even have 11.5 million followers versus nearly 400 million followers. It's all about vanity. It's all about these vanity metrics that people can look at as a reflection of who these people are. It's gross. Now, yet, someone like David Goggins is not as well known or as well revered, I guess that's the word we can use here, revered, as someone like The Rock. But that doesn't matter. People like what they like, and people like the things that they're conditioned to like. So, we're just going to jump right to it. There's this video from Sunny V, reformed transphobe. The video is going to be linked in the description if you want to watch it. It's a video about The Rock. The Rock's cock. It's called The Rock is Losing Thousands of Fans Per Hour. Why? I don't know, Sunny V. Let's see why. I'm going to refresh the page because it's going to 100% play an ad.
The Rock just made WrestleMania's most disliked video ever, and through some terrible podcast appearances, a completely out of touch fundraiser, and his reputation as a walking, talking advertisement, the world's fakest celebrity has for the first time ever seen a fall in Instagram followers. But the biggest—
Sorry, I'm going to keep doing this. This is just something that— lots of pausing. Negative 200,000 out of nearly 400 million? Nothing. That's a quip. He won't even notice it. Won't make any difference in terms of his overall lifestyle. Another thing that I guess I didn't mention initially, it's like I've never been one to really just mindlessly idolize these people. I guess I'm not as susceptible to the cultural conditioning. These people are in these specific tiers of society based on money moves, based on the value that they afford the people who've put them in those positions. Is something like this really surprising? I have a general idea of what he's going to say. Haven't watched the entirety of the video quite yet. I do know things here or there based off of The Rock. I heard that he's lied about In-N-Out, for whatever fucking reason. He's a soulless money grubber. That's it. Yet, people like him. People like what they like. People dislike what they dislike. So what does that say about these things? When I see numbers, vanity metrics, this high, my immediate opinion is like, oh, doubt. I don't believe that the reasons as to why these people are where they are in life and the way that they're perceived is based on anything legitimate. It's just people liking shit and people's emotions. That's it. And people's emotions are just mindless nonsense. Yet everyone wants to point at these numbers and these metrics and be like, yeah, this is what this means because everything is where it should be. Because that makes me feel stuff, my emotions. If everything is where it should be and the hierarchy is the way that it is because it's supposed to be that way, then I could just believe stuff and feel things. I could believe that these people who are in these specific tiers of society are just better and they're just more capable. They're just awesome. That's how life works. Because everything has meaning. There's a God that loves us. And we're all just awesome, super intelligent creatures that aren't just a bunch of mindless, disgusting animals that make up shit based on how we feel and try to manifest our feelings within our tangible environment through our garbage flailing. Everything is, this is all good. It's good. I guess to point at this specific thing, that's nothing. That's a tiny little blip. 200,000 out of nearly 400 million, no difference. It's crazy that you even noticed that, but I guess you kind of just need content, which, you know, get your bag, none of it matters, who gives a shit. And of course, if you get your bag, people are going to look at that and be like, wow, you're awesome. Look how big your bag is. All of these procedures have been set up in a certain way that denotes ability and intelligence, and is not just a game that you can exploit. You have to be amazing. You have to be just superior in order to win at this game that humans have designed to be exploited. I.e. monetary acquisition. That's the only thing that matters. All right, let's go.
But the biggest contributor might be his endless list of lies on everything from his movie earnings to fast food consumption. For example, back in 2017, The Rock posted this photo to his Instagram claiming, "I've never been to In-N-Out before," which didn't seem all that serious until roughly 5.
Oh, hey, I heard about this. That was what I just said. Sorry, we'll keep going. It's interesting. Let's see what he lied about in particular. I already know what it is. I'm somewhat in the loop, but it's just funny. It's just a funny.
5 years later, when in August 2022 he'd post the following video.
This is the very first time that I have ever tried an In-N-Out burger, or In-N-Out fries, or anything from In-N-Out for that matter.
He'd therefore claimed for a second time it was my first ever time eating In-N-Out, yet he might not have been guilty given he'd also said this.
Now, I've picked up some In-N-Out burger before for some buddies of mine. I've never tried it, so this is a first.
That would be until December 2023, when The Rock claimed for a third time he'd had my first In-N-Out burger experience, also pretending like he'd never even tried fast food before. I didn't know the lingo, didn't know who to pay, where to pay, didn't know shit, before adding some self-congratulatory comments about leaving a massive tip. This led to mainstream media articles.
That's really funny. I like In-N-Out. I've had it. It sucks that it's only on the West Coast, especially because the West Coast is garbage. I mean, all around America's garbage, and it has just garbage food. But, you know, out of the garbage food that there is, I like In-N-Out. That's one of the garbage food that I like. Another observation, this will make no difference. Nobody really truly gives a fuck. They only care about the way that he makes them feel. There's going to be plenty of people who are going to react negatively to this, and they're just not going to support Dwayne the Cock Johnson, Dwayne's cock, as it throbs and erects and shoots viscous meniscus. But those people already probably just didn't really give much of a shit. All the people who blindly idolize people like this, it's like, it's just par for the course, man. The lies are what got this guy to where he is. You need to lie and be deceptive to people in order to get them to feel things towards you. Because if you're honest, I mean, just look at my fucking videos. So much dislike, so much hate. There's more positivity. If there were to be a Steam review on my channel, it would be mostly positive. But the negativity is super loud, let's just say. It's because I'm honest, I'm upfront. I'm brutal with the truth, and people don't like the truth. The truth has no bearing on human well-being. Like, the truth just is, and people don't like what just is. They're going to make up their own fabricated, exaggerated notions towards life because of emotion, feelings. That's what it boils down to at the end of the day. This, Dwayne The Rock, he can continuously lie and lie, and these are just the things we know about. But, like, he's going to be continuously benefited by the lie, given that that's just human nature. Humans are acclimated towards feeling good about these types of things. People don't want to know the truth. Even for the most part, people don't want to know the truth, even if they say they do. And even the people who do want to kind of know the truth, there are certain extents to what that goes towards. I bet you even with me, there's certain things there's not too many things that I've come across so far where it's like, I don't want to know the truth. But I guarantee you, if like we boil it down to the nuance, to things that I haven't even thought about, to certain things that I haven't encountered, there may be some things where I'm just like, no, I don't want to. Even if I may know the truth, I may not want to take it to heart. I could probably say it. There's a few things out there I don't even know. I mean, this is all just hypothetical. I would like to say that I care about objective reality. But if there were a lens of like omnipotence where you can just see everything, I wonder how people would react. I think people would probably they'd look through it, or they'd either refuse to look through it, and even the ones who do look through it, they'd probably still build a lens around that lens so that they could prioritize the things that don't totally decimate their sense of self-worth or their sense of meaning. I don't know, I could be wrong, and hopefully I am wrong about this. I would like to think that there are a decent amount of people out there who can just take the brutal truth up front, right in the goddamn face, and try to come to terms with it. Because to me, truth is the closest thing we have to an objective right. It's just you know, because people are always saying morality subjective. Truth is what is, and that's the only thing that's like concrete. So I would like to think that there are enough people out there that do care about that, to like, there are people out there who care about that and are willing to take it in the face like a bad bitch. Yeah, okay, so strange lie. Point of what I'm saying in this little tangent, it's not going to make a difference in his overall career. No one's truly going to give a shit. He's always going to be able to make money and be able to do the things that he wants to do. And over time, people will probably just forget. And even the people who hold this against him, it probably won't make a difference in terms of how much support they give him. So let's go.
Media articles and a 6 million view Penguin Zero video.
This is the third time he's done it. He keeps pretending that he's trying In-N-Out for the first time every couple of years. The other two videos are still on your Instagram page.
Forcing The Rock to change his description by adding, "My first ever In-N-Out burger experience again. Thanks to the fans who reminded me that I went to In-N-Out years ago and totally forgot about it, but there was another lie that did way more damage." Black Adam was released in December.
I don't know. Could we believe that? I believe that. I believe the Dwayne "The Rock's Cox" Johnson, that he forgot that he went to In-N-Out. I mean, In-N-Out probably describes his steroid usage, right? In, inject, out, lift, pump, in, inject, out, and his sex life. In, and then finish, and then out. Or maybe he can't really get it up because of the steroids. Get your money, Rock Cock.
Released in December 2022, yet after its theater run ended, Insider published an article reading, "Box office bust, Black Adam faces theatrical losses." The article explained that the film needed to earn around 600 million worldwide to break even, yet box office experts believe Black Adam will stall out with less than 400 million globally. Now the movie stands to lose 50 million to 100 million in its theatrical run, although only 3 days later The Rock was saying the opposite.
That's hilarious. I mean, granted, it really makes no difference. I mean, sure, it affects their bottom line slightly, but it's like, come on, it's not gonna make that much of a difference. Still made a shit ton of money, and that is an obscene amount of money right there. I would just love to see all of these goddamn superhero, like disgusting, soulless, generic, cookie-cutter superhero films just like bankrupt all these studios that make them. That would be fucking excellent. And then maybe like people would be incentivized to actually make like decent, well thought out, intelligently written films instead of just garbage that they know that the average dumb population is going to just consume, because, you know, garbage likes to be near garbage, so they know how to curate the garbage in a way that they can benefit and siphon value from the garbage, right? One man's trash is another man's come up. One man's trash is another man's way to get money from that trash by making garbage superhero movies, because like all of them are just generic for the overwhelming most part. Is he lying about that too? Let's hear.
Opposite. Waited to confirm with financiers before I shared this excellent Black Adam news. Our film will profit between 52 and 72 million, fact. Also attaching a Deadline article which stated, "There's some snarking going on out there that Black Adam is poised to lose 50M to 100M, and that is simply just not true. The movie is bound to break even and be in the black." Well, it turns out this article was written with false information that The Rock had personally leaked to the journalist to make his film seem profitable. After 25 years, we finally found out what The Rock is cooking: the books. But the thing that's really cooking his reputation is perhaps the cooking itself, as The Rock's longest running and most off-putting lies are on the topic of diet and exercise.
It's funny, it's just so fragile. How could some guy so big and so jacked have such a pathetically weak like sense of ego? It's like you are unbelievably successful and have unlimited amounts of money that you can, in multiple lifetimes, you couldn't spend all of it. It's just sitting in a bank somewhere, accumulating interest. It's crazy. These people like him make moves in a certain way to reaffirm their sense of self-worth within the environment. And of course it's gonna work. It's always gonna work. Once you get to a certain tier of society, like everything you do is, for the most part, is gonna benefit you. You can always find ways to monetize these types of things. It's just so pathetic. You not only have most things, you want everything. You have the unlimited influence, the unlimited amount of money, and you also want the respect, as if that fucking means anything. You already have the thing that affects your everyday, you know, your day-to-day life. It's pathetic. But it makes sense why people like this are idolized and revered. Makes sense. It's a reflection of the priorities of just your average person and just humanity. It's a low bar, and just humans are dumb, so you can't really expect anything better. You have to like anticipate bullshit like this because humans are not like, we are capable, but what's even more depressing is that for the most part we aren't. It would be cool if like humans just intrinsically just couldn't do any better, but like what makes it even more, or the reality more insulting, is that humans can do better. Our further degree of sentience grants us that. We just don't, which is even worse because there's no excuse if that's the case. People just choose to succumb to their most basic primitive biology. And The Rock, I guess, is a perfect manifestation of that. He's just playing on all of our dumbass emotions, so whatever.
Size. For example, The Rock claimed to be eating a suspicious amount of food.
Anywhere between 6 to, well, I would say possible, almost 8,000 calories a day.
Which was quickly shut down by Greg Doucette.
There is no way The Rock burns off enough calories to average 6,000 to 8,000 calories a day and look like this. If he actually ate those kind of calories, 6,000 to 8,000 a day, he would be 100 pounds overweight.
Who went through The Rock's entire daily diet before adding this.
He described about 3,000 calories, maybe, but where do we get the 6 to 8 total thousand calories?
The Rock also uploaded a raw uncut leg workout, which he called intense and unlike anything I've ever done, which Greg went on to criticize.
But look at the grimaces on his face. Notice how hard he seems to be pushing. This is 2 plates on each side. A man of The Rock's stature, size, and strength, I would believe that this would be a cakewalk. Many bikini competitors could lift this much weight. And I'm not trying to strength shame him here, but I believe that you're lying when you say that this kicked your ass. There is no way that this was difficult for you.
Highlighting The Rock's most notable lie of all.
There's not a fucking chance in hell.
He's not even that good of an actor. I mean, come on. People are gonna just rush to, you know, they want to jerk The Rock they want to jerk The Rock Cox Johnson. They want to jerk the Rock's Johnson. There we go. He chooses very basic generic movies where he plays the same character over and over again. And even in the movies that would like demand a little bit more of his acting prowess, quote unquote, it's like even those aren't really impressive or really take too much. He's a journeyman. It's like when you look at really good, when I think of good actors, I think of like Joaquin Phoenix, Tilda Swinton, people who it's like when you look at them in their movies, they're like, oh, I think this looks like a different person. Daniel Day-Lewis, like people who like are actual artists. But it's like, again, like The Rock's Cox Johnson has so much more than all of them because he just makes money move. It's a business to him. I guess you just don't really need talent. You just have to curate people's emotions. You have to get them to support you, give you money. I bet you a lot of these movies, a lot of people go to see them just because the Rock's cock is in it. That's lame. Those people don't care about art or movies. They care about the idea of movies and art. It's just weird. How do you like sit through just generic garbage and actually be excited? I don't believe that that's an easier life, like the lack of self-awareness. I think lack of self-awareness just causes you to run into incessant snags that you just won't know how to get past because you're just you're more of a victim of circumstance if you have like that degree of self-awareness. Because like, how are you going to react to things and improve yourself if you're just like being a mindless imp, just doing shit? I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe those people are faring better in life because they just don't have the same degree of they just don't have much brain power, I guess. I don't know. It's hard to say. Everything's specific to the individual. Is ignorance truly bliss? Maybe. Ignorance for some people doesn't help. Ignorance for other people does. Intelligence for some people doesn't help. Intelligence does for other people. It really depends on your application of such, I guess. Whatever.
Fucking chance in hell he's clean.
No.
Not a chance in hell. As big as The Rock is, at 50?
On the topic of steroids, Johnson has said he hasn't touched them since he was 18, when he tried them before college. Sure, you get a lot of people out there who will suspect and say shit. They want to negate the hard work you put in, although it's strange to see him only getting bigger, despite now being into his 50s. Eddie Hall gave his voice on what Dwayne might be using.
I would believe that The Rock would be on TRT, which is testosterone replacement therapy. A very good thing to do. It's actually very good for you, very healthy for you.
While Joe Rogan theorized he was probably using more.
You can't even get there with HRT. That's not HRT.
Which was again echoed by Greg Doucette.
Not only do I not think he's natural, I don't think he's on HRT. I think he's on the kitchen sink. Whatever he can take.
Really?
I think he's on all of it and then some. You don't get big like that into your 50s compared to your 40s and 30s. Like you see some photos of him in his 30s, he's way bigger and leaner now.
This has helped him to earn the following title.
The Rock is the fakest celebrity in Hollywood.
And nothing solidified this harder than
The fakest? That's quite an accolade right there. They're all just fake, degenerate garbage people. All of them. I think we're just more inclined to give him that because of how well known he is. How many other people have nearly 400 million followers on Instagram? Even other like Hollywood celebrities. I don't know. I mean, us reacting like this to him is clearly a reflection of his stature in society. I mean, if this was your average Joe, if there's another person, people probably would not give nearly as much of a shit. But he's more of a talking point because of his status. But yeah, no, I mean, yeah, absolutely fake. Total liar. Has a very fragile sense of ego and a sense of self-worth if he needs to lie about all this unimportant bullshit. But I mean, hey, it's probably clearly working. I mean, everything else up to this point has worked, and if he's gotten to this point in his life and he has all these things, but it's like, why would you stop there? Just keep being a garbage man. Keep doing what you do. Sorry, my rock cock is grumbling. I haven't injected enough steroids. I think that's why. I need to start steroids. I think that's why. To get my rock's cock into Johnson mode.
The Rock's recent Joe Rogan episode. I was very hyped for this podcast, but it was honestly quite boring. Rock unironically has some serious politician traits with how he takes the middle road and nods his way through anything potentially controversial Joe would say. As mentioned, The Rock tiptoed through the entire episode.
You could tell The Rock just did not want to give his opinion on anything, and he's walking on eggshells. You know, he's definitely worried about saying anything controversial or getting canceled.
Additionally, The Rock avoided controversy by controlling every topic, leading to other comments such as, Rock has asked Joe about 100 questions so far, and I don't think Joe has asked Rock a single one. Joe is doing all the talking about the same old shit and I'm about to fall asleep.
Also, you really shouldn't give a fuck about what people like this have to say. Honestly, your priorities are wrong if you value this guy's opinion. You value their opinion, why? Because they have lots of money and they've succeeded in their career exponentially so, therefore their opinion's valid. That's like garbage ape mindset brain rot thinking, which I imagine most people fall under that. Most people aren't better than that. To have better priorities in life? Who gives a fuck what people like this have to say? Yeah, it's pathetic. But again, you can't expect anything more from humans.
The whole episode just felt kind of weird, not only because of Joe previously calling The Rock a steroid user, but because The Rock had also called Joe Rogan out himself. I thought The Rock disowned Joe during the whole N-word incident. Back in 2022, when Joe posted this iconic video, The Rock stood firmly behind him by writing, "Great stuff here, brother. Perfectly articulated. Looking forward to coming on one day and breaking out the tequila with you," although his support was met with backlash. Dear The Rock, you're a hero to many people.
I like also how Mike Chandler, the UFC fighter, commented underneath that. The fakest UFC fighter to ever exist. Oh man. He's a Dana White's little puppy dog, even though he likes Conor McGregor more, which is very funny. Which is why they're fighting. Who do you think's gonna win that? I mean, Conor McGregor's on a bunch of steroids, so I don't even know if the fight's gonna actually happen, because he's worked really hard to try to get past all the testing and everything. But if it does happen, McGregor's, come on. Chandler's a journeyman. Let's see if McGregor has fallen from grace, truly fallen from grace. Because if Michael Chandler beats him, and like with a knockout or something instead of just a boring-ass decision, then it's, ugh. Well, Mike Chandler's getting his money, but it's just funny how those two fake people have the first comments we see.
Many people, and using your platform to defend Joe Rogan, a guy that used and laughed about using the N-word dozens of times, is a terrible use of your power. Have you actually listened to this man's many racist statements about black people, causing The Rock to fold instantly? Dear Don Winslow, thank you so much for this. I hear you as well as everyone here 100%. I was not aware of his N-word use prior to my comments, but now I've become educated to his complete narrative. Learning moment for me, showing he'd cave from the smallest bit of criticism. The Rock was the most sanitized, neutered, safe person I've ever heard audio of. Not one real opinion. He was like the breathing version of ChatGPT in 10 years. The Rock might be physically strong, but clearly has no public backbone, and nothing showed this more comically than his recent Maui controversy. After the island was burnt by fires, The Rock and Oprah launched the People's Fund of Maui, contributing $5 million each before asking the public to donate.
So we appreciate any support that you can give. What do I do? What do I do? This is what you do. The People's Fund of Maui.
The comments have since been turned off completely.
Fuck both of you. Mindless animals. What the fuck? You donate $5 million each? That's like a fraction of your overall like wealth, your net worth. And you're asking money from the people who you take money from and attention and the validation from? Animals. gross. And then you try to like frame it in a way as if like you give a shit. You don't fucking care. You care about the stuff you want other people to think you care about, because that helps your image. God, yuck. Dude, disgusting species, man. Yucky poo-poo. Ugh.
Completely, yet they once echoed the sentiment, math ain't mathing with this one. You guys literally have so much money. You can donate it and make it back within a year. Now, The Rock didn't need to respond. His $5 million donation was already extremely generous, yet once again he couldn't handle the backlash and uploaded a video claiming he'd done the wrong thing.
When we first launched the fund, there was some backlash, and I want to address and acknowledge that backlash right now. And here's what I have to say about that. I get it, and I completely understand. And I could have been better. And next time I will be better.
The Rock doesn't even feel like a real person anymore. He's basically just a walking business, with the whole walking billboard mentality becoming increasingly obvious to everyone.
Why not just donate and not tell anyone about it? You a really good person? You have to jerk off in front of everyone else so that they can know that you did it? It's pathetic. Give me a break, dude. It's like, I mean, you're already in more of a position, in a specific position in society where you could probably do even more than just donate. You could like do things to really change all sorts of people's lives. But like, of course you have to make a display about it so that you can improve the way that you're perceived by the public. I mean, it's gonna work. Again, like, a lot of the people who are actually pointing out all of this bullshit, it's like, those are people who probably a little bit more savvy in the internet sphere. Most of your average laymen who see this guy's face on their phone or their television or their computer probably don't know about the context, nor would they really give much of a shit about the context. They only care about what's being presented to them up front. So it's like, yeah. Remember, you can't expect anything better from people.
He only has one mode, and that's sales mode.
For example, he simply had to celebrate his sold-out wrestling match with a massive swig of tequila. And what about the drink of choice for his first time trying In-N-Out? Well, again, 2 straight shots of his own brand of alcohol. Not exactly believable. But what about this wholesome video where he pulls up to a tour bus? You guessed it, it's actually an ad.
We're building our second distillery, and we are the largest employer of everybody in Jesus Maria. I love Jesus Maria. Thank you, brother. Did you try the tequila?
By scrolling to any part of his Instagram, you can see that around 75% of his posts are sponsored, and the nickname Dwayne the Ad Johnson is therefore perfectly fitting. This, combined with everything else, has severely wounded
Dwayne the Rock Cox sponsored Johnson. Holy shit. Oh my god. And why is it like so many of these motherfuckers have goddamn like alcohol? That's one of many businesses you can just slap your face on and make lots of money off of. Right? You have the guys from Breaking Bad, you have The Rock, you have the guy from Ghostbusters, you have Ryan Reynolds. You have so many people who are just making their own fucking alcohol brands. You have Conor McGregor. Are they all secretly alcoholics or something? That's fucking hilarious. But it's like, interesting how that's the choice for a lot of these soulless celebrities. Alcohol, when there's like a billion types of businesses you can just slap your face on and make lots of money without any effort. Because that's the point. These people don't give a fuck about the thing that they're selling. They care about the money that they're making from selling it and slapping their face on. That's the great thing about brand being like, you know, it's the same reason why when McDonald's or all sorts of other fast foods slap on the names of rich people. Oh, the Cardi B meal. Wow. I get to eat a burger that's named after a garbage artist. And it works because people are stupid. Oh man, yeah, grunge species, man. It's very funny. It's funny though. When you learn to have like frame it in a humorous lens, it makes it a little bit easier to consume. It's yeah. When you have a good laugh in the face of the void, it makes it easier to come to terms with it.
Really wounded his image. However, his recent actions with the WWE have dealt the final blow. On the 23rd of January 2024, The Rock became a WWE board member and a voice for what takes place in the show. The Rock ensured the audience, "At my core, I'm a builder who builds for and serves the people," although so far he hasn't served anyone beside himself. How might you ask? Well, you'll need a bit of backstory. Roman Reigns was WWE champion for roughly 3 whole years, although it was hinted that the widely adored Cody Rhodes would be next to take the title. The two had a long-running feud, so their matchup seemed perfect, and Cody had just won the Royal Rumble, the winner of which normally goes on to face the champ. Well, after all the hype had built, Cody Rhodes unexpectedly told Roman he didn't want to face him, randomly subbing himself out for The Rock, who had no place in the story. Suspiciously, this was only 10 days after Dwayne became a board member, with many believing The Rock had simply written himself into their feud. The highlight therefore gained over 700,000 dislikes, being given the title of the most hated WWE move ever, since the highlight is now the WWE's most disliked video. The backlash was so severe that the story was totally changed, with Cody successfully beating Roman in April, after which The Rock announced he was leaving. The story led some fans to state, "I swear I haven't watched this much wrestling in years, although The Rock's personal following hasn't been so healthy. Only 12 months ago, The Rock was gaining 5 million followers per month, although through everything discussed in this video, The Rock is now losing fans for the very first time ever."
He gained 5 million in a month and only lost a small fraction of that? Not healthy. What the hell are you talking about? What's with this like extensive, unrelenting growth that you use to determine how well someone's doing? It's like, dude, once you reach a certain threshold, it's like there's only up from here. And you can take a small amount from that. It really won't set you back that much. It's a little bit dramatic, and I can understand why you're saying that for the video, but it's like, he's fine. Gonna live the rest of his life doing whatever the fuck he wants, and he'll continue succeeding. His life won't change, and it's like the Kanye shit. He could say as much as he wants, whatever stupid race shit he wants to. What does that really do to affect his everyday life? He still wakes up in a mansion. He still gets driven around or whatever, drives a bunch of cars, still has an entourage. He still gets to do whatever the fuck, whenever the fuck he wants. He still gets known for doing these types of things. He can still continuously make money. He still has an audience. The audience will continue to come back to his shit. If he chooses to make more music, it makes no fucking difference. It doesn't. These people don't receive comeuppance. That's not how it works. Your average person will receive comeuppance. Your average person gets brutalized and beaten down, and the tiniest mistake you make, you will get sucked into a system that is designed to siphon your life from you, so that benefits people like this. Not The Rock himself, but people who are in these types of tiers of society. The mega wealthy. Yeah, okay, well, interesting video. Again, link will be in the description. How about support people based on their merits of character, instead of just because you like them and they make you feel stuff? How about the quality of what they afford you? How about their abilities as whatever it is that you like them based off of? If you like an artist, like them because their art is good. If they're an athlete, like them because they're a good athlete. If they're known for, if they put themselves in the public light in a certain way in which we're aware of who they are as a person, maybe you should, like them because they're a decent person. I know, crazy suggestions, I know. But the bottom line out of all of this, just don't give a fuck about any of these people. They don't matter. You really shouldn't give a shit. It's okay to listen to them or to show up and watch the stuff that you like of theirs. I can't even say that. Fuck them. Just don't support people like this. Yeah, where was I going with that? Don't worship these people just because they're rich and successful. Be an individual. Have your own backbone and stand against the conditioning that you're surrounded by incessantly in order to prop these people up in life. Because fuck them. They don't matter. Nothing matters. Nobody matters. So live your own life. Be your own person. Cool.